Good afternoon. It's Friday, February 13th, 12:48 p.m. As I'm recording this video, time just flies by. My hair is getting longer, my beard is getting longer. I haven't done one of these without a beard. I normally don't wear a beard all year, so I'm going to shave that pretty soon. Um, I wanted to check in just because it's been a little while, and I'm trying to do these on a more regular basis. A couple things that have caught my attention. We've had tremendous volatility in the markets. We had the October 10th crypto liquidation, the January 30th top with silver and gold. Yesterday, February 12th, we had a broad sell off in crypto and silver in the Qs. And before I really dig in, I also want to, before I forget, say happy early Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is tomorrow, so this is your reminder to get something for your significant other or your family members. But back to the markets, um, it's pretty wild. So I like the movie Speed. It's been a while since I watched it with Dennis Hopper, Keanu Reeves. Remember where he says "pop quiz, hot shot"? I've got a pop quiz for you right here. If I told you through yesterday's close that app was down 45.6%, this one been one of the momentum favorites. Robinhood was down 37.1% year to date. This is through yesterday's close. Palantir, which is maybe uh, the the momentum stock of all the momentum stocks the last several years, down 27.4%. Microsoft down 16.9% year to date. The pop quiz is, what do you think the Qs would be down? And I'll give you a second. Think about it. You may know. The answer was the Invesco QQQ Trust was down 2.2% through yesterday. It's up about 0.9% today, so it's barely down. It's pretty wild. Um, Micron, which I've actually owned since all the way back in 2015, is up 45% year to date. SanDisk is up 165.5% year to date. That's incredible. The memory stocks are, including Western Digital and Seagate, they're all helping the Nasdaq. It's one reason the Qs are only down 2.2 with some of their leaders really stumbling. Also want to mention that through yesterday's close, BORR drilling was up 36.5%. That's been a nice winner for us in the FAMDCA portfolio the last year from its lows, last year and a half or 2 years. RIG, Transocean, which is why I named the room in our oil room, RIG starts first because they're the penultimate stock for the capital cycle, in my opinion. They're up 46% year to date. And then Valaris, which RIG surprisingly bid for earlier this week, is up 76.4% year to date. So the dispersion is really wide. The volatility week to week is really heightened. So it's important to really. I always say you have to build your own conviction. You can't borrow conviction from somebody else, because if you own something and you don't have conviction in it, if you just read a research report or borrow the research from somebody else, you're not going to be able to hold it through this volatility. Case in point, Cleveland Cliffs, which was down 27.9% this week. They had an earnings report that was disappointing relative to expectations, though their guidance wasn't too disappointing. Cliffs is actually off 21.3% year to date, which is surprising because steel stocks have generally done pretty well. Steel Dynamics, Nucor, ArcelorMittal. And steel prices are at one-year highs. They look to be threatening multi-year highs. It seems like there's a turnaround there, and we see that obviously in the economic data. We've got strong GDP growth. We've got that Dodge Momentum Index, which is a leading indicator of future construction activity, that's been surging. So that's good for base material prices. We see it in copper, we see it in aluminum, we see it in even things like iron ore, but steel certainly. So the sell-off in Cliffs, to me, it's an opportunity. I know that Goncalves, LG, sold, looks like half of the stock he held for estate planning purposes. The market didn't take that well, after the disappointing reaction to the earnings report. But that is just what you see in Cleveland Cliffs there. That type of volatility is just par for the course in the markets this year. So you have to get used to that. Um, and we've seen that. I mean, really, the last 6 years have been hyper volatile. 2020, you had the pandemic and then the rebound from that. 2021, you had the SPAC and the meme top. 2022, you had a decline in the broader equity market where the S&P was down 22% at one point. You had OpenAI, as I've mentioned, come out with ChatGPT in November of 2022. NVIDIA kind of said we're going to be in a new capital spending explosion in May of 23. That was really understating things. It was very accurate. In 24, you had a broad recovery in tech stocks that kind of led into 2025. It looks like the tech market may have topped here now as of October of last year. But last year was a great year for stock picking. International stocks really outperformed. We had international banks like Deutsche Bank, Barclays, Santander that all did really well. U.S. value, there was a lot of things that really did well. There was turnarounds like VF Corp, VFC that we kind of caught. So it was a great year to be a stock picker. It's really been, I call it the golden age of active investing since 2020. There's a lot of volatility, but you can find opportunities in that volatility if you can, not get too rattled by it. That continues right now, this last week. So that's my check-in note for today. I've got to get ready for the weekend myself. I got to go on my kid pickup. I wanted to also say rest in peace to James Van Der Beek, who passed away on February 11th. He was in a bunch of shows and movies that I saw growing up. He died from cancer, so rest in peace. Made me think of McBeard in our group with his wife. I haven't talked to Eric, for a little while. I've got to reach out. So, Eric, just thinking about you and, thinking about everybody who's lost somebody who's close to them. I didn't know, obviously, James Van Der Beek, but I saw a video the other day where he was towards the end of his life. It was really kind of touching and saying what was important. And I'll see if I can post that somewhere. But that's my check-in. Hopefully you guys have a nice weekend. And I'm interested, like we all are, where the market's closed today. They've been captivating me, but I'm trying the best to stay even keeled, and keep my routine, working out, and not to get too rattled or frazzled by anything that happens with the markets. So, I encourage you to do that as well. Take care.